Quick announcement with the podcast. I'm going to be dropping random ones throughout the NBA playoffs, just reacting to the games of the day. I'm not going to do it all the time. It's just going to be more random, but just something to know, something to periodically check with the podcast. 2 days without uploading. My apologies. But we are here at the NBA draft, and hopefully this isn't a disaster. I think it'll be okay. The problem could be if one of our potential point guards gets taken, Sion Williamson going number 1 to the Clippers. I think that's pretty okay. Zion having some of the weirdest accessories with the shoulder sleeve and the knee brace things. Also, he's like 270 pounds in this game. I feel like that's too heavy. Maybe he makes it work in real life, but whatever. But the Clippers have themselves a creator. Can he get to Chris Paul levels of a few years ago? I don't know, but they're going to hope he can. With the second overall pick, the team that won the NBA Finals selects Darius Garland, which you may remember was one of the point guards that we were looking at. I didn't have a huge expectation of us getting him, and I guess that makes sense as he went number 2 here. This is interesting, just because Philly's already got Markelle Fultz, who was the Finals MVP, we remember. I mean, just getting another really good guy. If you can get the best guy available, or the guy that you think is the best available, then you go for it, and you just add another potential elite talent to a team that just won the title with a bunch of like 22-year-olds, so watch out for them in the East. Number 3, the Brooklyn Nets, RJ Barrett, who a lot of people say is the best player in this draft. They finally have their potential star player, as they've been doing a pretty decent job, if you ask me, of getting in some young guys and acquiring picks and having the occasional veterans to just help the team out overall. But you need that star, and maybe RJ Barrett is that star, so good for them. Number 4 overall, the Detroit Pistons, who just need something of a solution, select Cameron Reddish, a small forward. I think it makes sense. That would be the position where they really need something. They just need some offense. And maybe Cameron Reddish can be that guy. He is an athletic wing who seems to have a pretty decent all-around game, isolation abilities and all that. Him and Reggie Jackson together might not be perfect, but who really knows? Romeo Langford at number 5 to the T-Wolves. Eventually we're going to get to us, I promise you on this one. I'm gone for 2 straight days and I come back and it's been nearly 3 minutes and we're not even in this video yet, so there you go. Bol to the Mavericks at number 6. That was a guy that we talked about before Bam Adebayo just fell into our lap. Hopefully this center experiment will go better than the Nerlens Noel one for Dallas. Landry Shamet, I don't know. He's on the Hawks. Dude can shoot. I assume he's a real player. Although I don't remember seeing him in mock drafts, but I'm going to assume he's there if he's this high. Finally, your Phoenix Suns with the 8th overall pick. Emmanuel Quickley is the guy. A point guard who I think can give us a lot of energy. His thing is getting into the teeth of the defense and making plays. The only fears with him are his shooting. And yeah, I would say that's it. I don't think he's going to be like a huge big-time scorer. Like, I'm not picturing Dennis Smith levels of attacking inside. But damn good nonetheless, And with him potentially starting at point guard, I haven't decided yet, and Josh Jackson at the power forward position, we could have a pretty devastating fast break if you ask me. If we can have 4 guys out there, and Bam, who's pretty athletic, I think we could do some real running. Now, I am going to talk a little bit here whether Josh Jackson would be the best fit at power forward next to Quickley, mainly because of their shooting, but from an athletic standpoint, and I would also say a defensive one, we could really do something with that because Quickley can grow into something good. Bam is very good on defense already. Jackson's very good already. And then Porter and Devin can just hopefully grow. The thing is going to be the shooting. Now, I think Emmanuel can grow into a good shooter. He's already not a bad standstill guy. His thing is when he's contested or when he has to shoot a pull-up, that's when he has trouble. So he might not be able to provide a lot of shooting day one, but maybe in a year or 2, that could be enough. As far as Josh Jackson shooting, I don't assume it to ever be that great. Now, does that mean he can't be a power forward like in a half-court set with Quickley? No, I think there's definitely a possibility for it, and it would be from his passing, which has not been too great so far. His passing attributes have crept up to being actually pretty okay, maybe good enough to where he can actually make some plays moving forward. But if that really didn't work, we still have Bender, who can make threes. I believe his three-point shooting down the stretch of our previous year was not the best, but, I got to assume it's going to be good. He's still only 21 years old. It's kind of crazy to say. Anyway, with the second-round pick, we draft someone who doesn't actually exist in Gary Trebagnier. I don't know. He's not a real guy, okay? I Googled him. He doesn't exist. He can jump relatively high, and the three's good. Also, there's no B in his name, and I pronounced it with a B anyway. We're bringing everybody back, okay? Everybody's coming back, including Davon Reed, as well as the guy underneath him in Alonzo Trier. I think the competition between those two hasn't really finished just yet. We can find out who's the better option probably by midway this year or so. Devin Booker's restricted free agency. Newsflash, we're going to match any offer he gets. $26.5 million, which if you add it up to where we're at right now, would take us to about the mid-90s, which doesn't give us an opportunity to really acquire any real free agents because everybody wants way too much damn money. Even someone like Malcolm Brogdon wants nearly $19 million, my goodness. So Devin Booker's coming back. So the team is very similar to last season, but now we got to see Emmanuel Quickley in action, as he is going up against Colin Sexton, which is a hell of a point guard matchup if you ask me. I also don't know why Sexton is still here when he was, 4th or 5th in Rookie of the Year voting. I figure at that point, you don't really need to see the guy in Summer League anymore, but you know what? I can't fault the Magic. I can fault the Magic for it. What the hell are they doing? Anyway, an interesting thing about Quickley, and this really isn't interesting at all, and it really doesn't matter at all, but I have to mention it, is that he's got that shirt underneath his jersey as Alonzo Trier misses a three. The shirt will be off once we're actually playing, so don't worry about that one. If you were worried, and I know you were. Colin Sexton gets blocked. We go down the other way. I already whiffed on one three-pointer with Trier, but if I get an opportunity, he's going to shoot that thing a million times. Or I can just do a million isolations with Quickley. This is a horrible possession. Eventually, we get a long two-pointer for Trier, which is apparently his go-to in college. And there you go. All this activity for a 4-2 game. Aren't two-pointers just beautiful? Speaking of two-pointers, all the two-point turnarounds that Dwayne Wade hit in the game today against Philly, that was pretty nasty. Shout out to D. Wade. Why did I bring that up? I don't know. Orlando was taking too long to score, so I went with that. Colin Sexton at the free throw line. He's leading their offense here, and I'm pretty sure he was leading their offense this previous season as well, which is good because the Magic need it. Pick and roll with Quickley, the first of many that you're going to see, and I believe that's Austin Wiley at the center position. We've already got Mitchell Robinson at the backup 5, and he's going to be getting some more minutes this year, so we can see if he can really bring it for us. So I will not be signing Wiley this time around. I'm pretty sure I played some really bad defense on that pick and roll with Quickley, but don't blame him, just blame me. I guess we can blame nobody for helping, but whatever. That's the boring side of defense. We don't want to talk about that. Nobody watches off the ball anyway, come on. But Quickley scored on that one, also with no help defense. 11-9, because every shot going up is a 2. We could use a three-pointer just so I can remember that we're actually in modern-day basketball. Or you know what? If they're going to keep on going in, then that's fine, I guess. I'm sure Charles Barkley appreciates all these two-pointers. Oh, we're doing a replay of that one. Okay. I didn't remember that was coming. Maybe I should pay more attention to when I edit. That was actually pretty impressive when you think about it. Gets by the initial guy, had the help defender coming over to his left, if I can remember, and he had someone contesting at the basket, and he was still able to finish. That's an NBA finish, if you ask me. Going all out on the floor, and that's kind of Quickley's best trait, is just his energy and all that stuff, which does not translate in a video game, but you know what, we'll be fine. What is Orlando doing? This play is going nowhere. There's about 7 seconds left. Do I blow it on pick and roll coverage again? I go under the screen this time, and yeah, I went under the screen, and then I kind of just fell asleep with the point guard. It's Summer League, okay? I'm not locked in that much. I was just trying to get back over to offense so I could run more pick and rolls with our new point guard. I have to test out the new toy, you know? Which I'm pretty sure I do right here. I don't call a point guard, which is what I almost said. I don't call a play for Quickly, I call it for Trier. It's technically a pick and roll, but it seems more like a handoff play if you ask me. Hey, I've said it a million times, I'll say it 1,000,001 times. Alonzo Trier can get to the free throw line, which his counterpart, Davon Reed, cannot do, which may end up being a deciding factor with those two. That went in. Can we appreciate the sellout in Summer League? I'll be honest, sometimes I want to go to Summer League and just hang out for however long it lasts. A week or whatever it is, seems kind of cool. Manuel Quickly once again. Now, if you've been watching the MyGMs for a minute, number one, thank you. Number two, you will know that we have pretty good history with point guards named Emmanuel, as we made Emmanuel Mudiay basically the greatest player in the NBA, and then in real life, it's not even sure if he's going to be in the NBA in 2 years. But the MyGM gods, which is a term that I am now inventing, they shine down bright on us when it comes to point guards named Emmanuel, so for all we know, maybe he'll end up being better than Devin Booker. Now, if he keeps on making shots like that, then he definitely will. I just hoisted the thing up there, man. The shot clock was dead, and I figured, why not just back up, give myself some extra space? I'm not going to make a habit of doing that once the actual game starts, because I don't think they're going to go in. But in this one quarter, I think we saw from Quickly, he can beat guys off the bounce, he can get inside, and I think that's step one to us really starting to win.